A big thunderstorm is coming onto us. You can see it behind me. Wow, I saw lightning. Not sure if this camera is able to capture it. Wow, so we'll see what happens. It's always so exciting for me to see big thunderstorms coming here into our garden. Hopefully, wow, hopefully there won't be any hail. We don't want that. We just want heavy rain. So wish us luck. Even though the thunderstorm was so close, in the end it dissipated and we just got normal rain instead. Which we were still happy about, of course. Rain is always welcome in our garden and the sound of it is always so relaxing.
Every spring I struggle with finding enough place for all my seedlings and plants. So here we are at station number 1. The well is full. I have here various veggies like radishes or nasturtium.
Here are the radishes. Here is the nasturtium.
Yeah, and also some small plants that I bought online, but I don't want to plant them in the wild yet because they are so small. They would be hidden in the grass within a week.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I learned from previous experience that it's better to keep them growing in planters for a year to let them grow bigger and then we will plant them later. And every year I also noticed that birds seem to love digging in the soil in the planters. So I had to do this. I hid some of the seedlings under a protective netting to keep the birds away because I came here and the soil was all dug out and then the seeds were out as well, some of them, and they wouldn't grow. So hopefully, this should help, I assume.
Yeah, some of the birds are very rude.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have to protect the little plants.
It's the first time we are trying something like this, so hopefully that should be an improvement compared to the previous years. And we have various pumpkins and cucumbers, kohlrabi and stuff like that here. We have various stations also depending on the amount of sunlight and stuff like that. So here is another one with a cage that we found in the barn from previous owners, and we have some flower seeds growing here.
So we have to protect everything. Every year we learn from our mistakes previous years, or not from the mistakes but from the disasters that happen all the time.
Because I was annoyed that I'm trying so hard and that some stupid bird comes in and destroys everything just for fun.
Yeah. So this is better.
Another thing that I learned last year is to start growing lettuce from seed here in the planters instead of directly in the garden beds. There are a lot of dandelions flying everywhere. Because last year I was trying and nothing was growing in the garden beds, and I assume it's because slugs kept eating them. So as soon as I started here in the planters, they started growing nicely, and then when they get bigger like this, I can transplant them on the garden bed and then they're growing fine. So this year I started right away with this technique.
Yeah, everything is very in danger when it's small.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a wild world in the garden, so that's why it's safer in the little pots and planters.
Yeah.
Did they fly to the neighbors or not? No. Okay, so this was interesting. In English, apparently, they are called helmeted guinea fowls, and neither us nor our neighbors had any idea where they came from. Probably some other neighbors have them and the birds like to just hang around and explore new places. Later, they just simply disappeared again. This lettuce here is a very special one. It grew here on its own, or Tommy planted it, but sometime in autumn, or I don't know, last autumn, I'm not sure. Anyway, it survived winter and it's still here waiting to be eaten. So today it's time. Ta-da! Look how amazing it looks. Yay.
Actually, I think I planted it maybe in August or September latest. And I have no idea how it got there or how it stayed there. I guess it was so tiny that it stayed hidden under the spinach next to it or something like that.
And it survived, and in spring, this spring, it started growing again.
It's a nice surprise because new lettuces are only like this big.
Yes, here they are. Look, these ones. So, yay, this is great. Sometimes these miracles happen in the garden.
Yeah, even positive ones.
Tommy already planted some of them here on the garden beds, but they are still tiny. They are growing nicely though, which is great. And look at our radishes, which I just picked here. Yay! I love when the season is happening and there are new veggies. It's amazing.
We have a little surprise here for us because I planted these special irises like 3 years ago and they never wanted to bloom, and we came here and suddenly we saw these two beautiful flowers.
Yay!
So I'm happy that they finally decided to blossom because I thought that they would never start. It's only 2 of them while I planted more, but maybe in the upcoming years all of them will start.
They seem to be quite slow, but slow is nice because in the end there are flowers, so yeah.
We had another delivery of plants, so it often looks like this here, also together with all the veggies and flowers that I'm planting everywhere. It's a lot of work ahead of us, that we can see.
Yeah.
So we'll be planting again very soon. We have some conifer trees. We want to create a new part of our garden with conifer forest, a little forest with several trees.
Yeah, a little wild corner,
Yeah.
foresty.
And a lot of other stuff like more lilacs and everything.
And everything. So there is a lot of planting ahead of us.
And another delivery is coming in a couple of days.
Yay!
Maybe I never knew what I really wanted. But looking back, I can see it's all clear. I'm still a kid trying to act like a young toddler. But
so difficult to keep the shrubs from being overgrown by grass, but we have to do it because otherwise they would grow slower or they could even die. So it's a never-ending process and it's not easy. Some of the shrubs are already quite big, so they are kinda okay even in the grass, but some of them are still small, so this process keeps repeating and the maintenance never ends. But it will end one day when all the shrubs are big and the hedge is big, shrubs and grass and everything. It will be like a wild wall. So then we can stop this, but not now. I'm using this electric lawnmower here around the shrubs, and then Tommy comes and he's using a small weed whacker and then his hands, so it's a finer work, and then it's done for a few weeks.
Every year I buy more flower pots. So these are the new ones this year. I thought of this like corner where we could put more flowers because there was nothing here, just some garbage. And these Johnny Jump Ups are free because they keep growing on our balcony in the city every year. So I dug them up from various flower pots and I put them all into one and brought them here. And they all turned this way to the sun, which is nice, so now they are very visible.
They look very pretty.
And we got these flowers from our neighbors. I tried to grow them from the seed, but I failed. But then we got already grown plants from the neighbors, so I put them here and they are starting to flower now. Just a couple of days ago they started. They look really nice.
So what are they?
Petunia, I don't know if it's called in English like that.
But that sounds like a nice name.
Yeah,
So we call them petunias.
yeah. And here we have a basil, quite a big one that I bought last year. And this basil overwinters indoors. Then you bring it out in the spring and it should continue to grow. So I already transplanted it into a bigger flower pot. And we'll see how big it will get. And I also found this unused wooden wash tub or whatever it was used for in the barn. So I filled it with soil and I also planted some flowers here inside, which I started from seed myself. And these grew up, so I can't wait to see them flowering. Hopefully they will.
I can't wait either because this will look amazing in that thing. I
He
love
doesn't
it.
know what it is, but he's already excited.
Yeah, I'm always excited. This year the peonies are kinda hard to access because of all this, but I wanted to show them to you anyway because they are my favorite flowers, I think. They are gorgeous. The smell is amazing. But this year they are not that impressive because it's been quite rainy in the recent days and they are heavy, so they go down. That's why they look like this. But I still can't from the color and from everything. And we planted more of them in the garden and I'm looking forward to the future when they are big, and I'm also curious about the colors. What colors are they?
I don't remember anymore.
Okay, so it will be a surprise. That's nice. Ah, amazing.
Our garlic is so big already. The harvest is coming.
Wow, yes. The harvest is coming and we are so looking forward to that.
And the potatoes. Looks like they are out already.
Yay! Welcome, potatoes. Almost all of them are out of the hay, so far it looks like they are happy here. we planted quite a lot of conifer trees here. This is going to be our little forest area in many years, but you have to start somewhere. So here we have common spruce tree, for example. We planted a few pine trees here, somewhere here. This is a pine tree, this is a pine tree, this is a pine tree. There are a few fir trees, so it will be amazing. It will be our little forest, and it will also bring color in winter because conifer trees are green, and for me they look very nice around Christmas, you know, because conifer trees equal Christmas.
In a few years we really won't have to leave our property anymore.
Yes, yes, that's our dream. And here there are birch trees, but they are like this because there are these little fruits or something, flowers here, and they are so heavy. So I was picking them, like not picking but removing them from these two trees. They are already gone.
They are bending because they are not very strong yet. So Peter already removed the fruits from some of the trees and it's bending less. And eventually it should straighten up, I guess, on its own, because this is what it does in nature as well, and they grow up, so I'm not too worried.
Yeah, and the bark is not even white yet because they are young, but
But it's
something.
starting.
Yeah.
You can see white dots everywhere, and that wasn't there last year, I think.
Okay, that's cool. Something is happening.
Yeah.
And here we let the grass grow, so there is this meadow area. There are quite a lot of wildflowers there already, so we kept it. And there are more meadow areas here on our property because wildlife likes it, and various insects and everything, so they need hiding places. But this year we are a bit overwhelmed. Come take a look. There are quite a lot of meadow areas. That's not intentional. Our big lawnmower, you know, the tractor, broke down. Now it's repaired, it's working again, but we are behind Tommy, our main mower. So that's why it looks like this. I love the path here, but some of the areas will disappear with the tall grass because that would be too much. So yeah, it looks wild, but that's our natural garden. It's natural. I picked quite a few honeyberries, which is great. Not all of them froze, and it's a nice harvest. I was crawling under the netting against birds because I was too lazy to remove it, and there are still some green ones, green fruits, so we still need protection against birds. So that wasn't the best. Now it's raining a little bit, so I was crawling there in the wet grass, but this is a great reward, so I'm very happy about that. Look at these blackberries. There are so many flowers, so it looks great, and there should be quite a lot of fruits. That's why it looks great, and I love it. So wish us luck, and in summer this will be full. I want to see it full of blackberries. What's great in having a garden is the fact that there is always something to look forward to. We repeat that quite often, but it really is true. Every day we are like, what will we discover in the garden today? We shall see in upcoming videos. But for now, that's it. Don't forget to give us a like to support our channel, and we'll see you next time. Bye!